Hello everybody, it's me, Lena, and you watch the Disney Channel. I don't know what to say really. Today I have an accent because I wanted to try it out, so hello, this is me, this is the new me, whatever. This is the video I promised you, which is the one I'm gonna be sharing some secrets, and not really secrets, but like some behind the scenes stuff from Shadow and Bone. Welcome everybody, welcome and please enjoy. Today we're going to be talking about a few scenes, and those are Entertainer, Enough, Faravka, The Punch, Medic Story, The Soldier, Interaction, The Burn, and The Photo. So these are the ones I'm going to be talking about, and hope you stay for the end. And yeah, hello. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be talking more than, showing pictures and videos, because I don't have any, because you're not allowed to do that on set. Whoa. And even if you're just not on set, usually just not allowed to do it. Sometimes you are, but still you're not allowed to post it. But anyways, so the first one is going to be The Entertainer, the Ketterdam. I've been waiting to go to Ketterdam for so long, ever since I've seen it in the first season. So in the first season, I was an entertainer. I said this in the last video, but for the people who are coming here, then hello, please stay. So for those people, in the first season, I was an entertainer, and this is what I look like. And I originally had multiple roles, but if you want to learn more about this, it's during the end of the video, because I made a video back in 2019 when I first went there, but I didn't upload that. So I'm going to upload clips of that in the end of this video. So watch that if, you're interested. I made like a mini vlog. It's actually quite, nostalgic to look back onto it, but I don't know if it actually feels like that for other people, but for me it's like anyways, good memories. But this season I was called back because I was the entertainer in the first season, so I was called back and I was gonna do the ribbon like I did last time, but they didn't choose the same ribbon, they chose another one that is also in the video in the back. I can actually show you the ribbon. So this is the ribbon they chose for this season, and they brought it, and also I sent them my they asked what do I have, I sent them the ribbon and also these 3 balls, because I was like, yeah, I can juggle too, because I was supposed to do that last season, but they ended up choosing the other ribbon, which I'm not sure I have today. I probably have it, just not here. By the way, since the first season I moved 2 times, so they chose this ribbon, which was beautiful, and they chose the balls too, but this was what they had the emphasis on. And when we were in Ketterdam, so we were only supposed to shoot one day, but we didn't fit into the first one, so they had us come by the next day. And that day, I was practicing the whole time. There's a clip of that, in the previous video that I did. I'm not going to put it into this one, go watch it. Not right now, but when you watch this one. So this ribbon had a nice story because I brought it and everything was good and all, except for the fact that, when we were actually shooting the scene, the director just comes up and like, this ribbon doesn't fit, give her something else. Can you do something else? I'm like, yeah, I can juggle. Give her the balls. And, the other juggler just, throws them at me and he picks up the clubs. So this ribbon had to be put into the mud because they were constantly spraying everything with water. And so this lovely little thing got a bit dirty, but it was okay because there's an assistant nearby and they picked it up and they brought it somewhere else. So eventually I actually had to get it back. Anyway, so I wasn't using my own stuff because when they were like, okay, let's go shoot, I didn't bring these. I only brought my ribbon because they okayed it. Apparently it was not okay, but yeah, so I actually ended up juggling with those balls, but everything was good because those balls were better than these ones, because these were just but still there was a problem because my hands were frozen because it was still like February. No, it was January. So I ended up dropping them, and the thing was that usually I didn't drop them, but whenever I did, I heard them say, cut, alright, cut, moving on. And yes, and I talked about this in the last video. There was that time when I actually hit the cameraman with my butt. Nice, lovely story, right? And the funny thing about that was when we were practicing, all together, we went outside the tent because there's usually a tent they put either the extras or like small part people into, and we were practicing outside, and it was right outside where the actors had their trailers. So Kid and Freddie were just looking at us while we were practicing. It was nice. Sometimes the others also came, but I was not wearing my contacts in the moment, so I didn't really see them. But when we were shooting the scene, I was wearing my contacts so I could see everything. By the way, my eyesight is really bad, so I need to wear contacts or glasses in order to actually see stuff. Right now I can't see anything. I know I'm supposed to be you know, staring at the general direction of the camera, but I'm not probably. I think I am. It looks like that. So anyways, that was Ketterdam, and it was, oh my god, it was so beautiful because it was amazing. But the problem was that only small bits and parts of Ketterdam were actually built. So when we're just walking around, you could just leave. So there was the small part of that street, and whenever you would walk into a building, you would just leave set. And you know, actually, because it was built so well, it didn't really break the illusion. But you know, when I was watching the scene, it broke it a little bit because it brought me back. But shooting in Ketterdam was absolutely amazing because everything was just so beautiful, and also it had the vibe from first season. So the next scene is the Enough. I call it the Enough. To be honest, I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to say this. Am I gonna get in trouble? Originally, when Kurgan shows up first season, when the Grishas are in the cages and the soldiers are like, it's for you, Kurgan just shows up and he says enough, and then, you know, when everyone's dead, then he just, you know, goes on, the Nichevoye just, you know, go into him, and then, you know, he keeps walking. Originally he had that, and the thing about the enough part is that when he says enough, literally shook the ground. Like, I usually don't fang over people, and I didn't do it this time because we had a straight-on staring contest and I won. So I wasn't just easily, I'm not easily shaken with that, but that, when he said enough, you could literally feel the ground beneath you just shake. And I was on the ground for more than 12 hours. I know what happened. It was amazing, and I'm so sad that they cut it out, but at least we have something to, you know, physically remember as well. And everything was still so beautiful. But during that day, we had we call them sport extra. It's like sport extra, which means that you're an extra, but you're doing, you know, like sport activities, or you're doing something physically tolling. There weren't enough, so they were like, okay, let's, you know, get some more. Or, you know, like the people who are lying on the ground in literally 0-degree weather with the wind blowing just through you, you had to be a sport extra in order to actually get the job done. We ended up dying in the scene. I don't know why I did that. I was gonna just say ended up dying, but no, ended up dying in the scene. So we're lying on the ground and everything is beautiful. The next time we shot it, they were like, okay, so last time you were a sport extra, right? Okay, go ahead, go find the instructor, and they're gonna teach you how to be a partial stunt. Now, what partial stunt means that you're not actually a stunt person, but you are doing something dangerous. So they taught us how to fall with the big guns. Those guns actually weigh like 6-7 kilograms, which isn't, you know, that much, but when you're carrying it around all day, and those are real guns, by the way. Those are fully real guns, they're just not loaded. When you're just, you know, going around and falling with that, you have to be careful, you have to know what you're doing. So they did a little training session that day, and 5 minutes, but they, you know, made sure that everybody could do it. Everybody, you know, had to go and perform to the instructor and everything. And, you know, they gave us the okay. They were like, there were 2 girls, by the way, that did that. The rest, like 5, I think, were guys. So we did that, and we ended up falling so much, and I loved it, you know, because it was so dramatic, because we had the whole thing, go shoot it, you can't shoot the Nichevoye, you have to, you know, run back. Okay, I was the last one to actually turn away and run, because you could see it in the scene too, I'm the last one. And then we're like, okay, I have to die now. And so I start running away, and they give you this sign, and you're like, Flah! And then you fall, and then you have to land in your exact position where Ben stops right in front of me and smacks me in the head with the cape. Lovely stories and lovely memories. That day was actually amazing because, you know, it's just so dramatic. You actually die in a Netflix production, you know, be it dramatic. I mean, if I'm gonna get killed, it either has to be one of the main characters or like the main monster, which was Nichevoye and Ben. So I mean, I got the whole thing. The next scene is Foravka. So Foravka is it was amazing. That's when we, you know, listened to Nikolai's speech. He gives so many speeches, we had to listen to each and every single one of them on set, and it was like just so long. But he did an amazing job because he rarely said anything wrong. So usually recording his part was the shortest one. Recording everything else was just, you know, took way too long. Foravka, that day actually started off pretty bad, not gonna lie, because it was like 40 degrees weather, Celsius, by the way, and we were wearing the full-on uniform, and it's multiple layers, and you're also wearing, because in the morning it was, how in the world did that happen? I don't know, but it was cold in the morning, so everyone was wearing stuff underneath. So it was actually a miracle that nobody got hurt that day, because it was just so hot. And also, you know, in order to make the lighting look good, they put we were in a castle, by the way, a Hungarian castle. And they put that little thing above us, you know, that actually scatters the light. It looked beautiful, but it was way too hot underneath. But it's all right though. The thing was, the whole day we weren't doing much things. We were just walking from this one to that one. You know, I said in the previous video I had to walk into that building, then this building, then that building, and then gather. But we weren't doing the gathering part. The first, whoa, I lost my voice. Anyways, so also I had to walk up and down those stairs for quite some bit, especially early in the day. But it was beautiful because when you know walk up the stairs and you look down, there's this whole view. It's absolutely majestic. I realize I'm not in frame, sorry. So in the first season I became pretty good friends with Jesse and Archie, and you know it's been so long because that was in 2019, also early 2020, and I didn't know if they still remember because I was just a random extra, right? And I was really sad because there were two other times. The punch, I was way too far and I couldn't, you know, just say hi to Jesse or Archie. And there was the other time, which was, I'm going to be talking about this scene later because we shot it earlier than this one. When they're walking down with the Grecians, you know, that whole line, they're reuniting and, you know, they heal the soldier's arm and everything. There were goats that day. It was beautiful. We were staring at the goats, and then Jessie came and also played with the goats. And I was constantly looking in her direction, and I knew that I wasn't allowed to talk to her. Just, you know, it's a rule. You're not allowed to, not even to just look at them, but you're not allowed to talk with the actors. You can if they initiate the talk, but usually that does not happen. I knew that I was not allowed to just go hey, hi, do you remember me? And then if she doesn't, it's like my whole word's gonna be broken, and you know, like I didn't want to either just, you know, break myself or break the contract I made. Those times I didn't get to actually know whether they remembered me or not. But in the castle, I actually found something out because, you know, that day, and I noticed they were there, and I'm like, okay, we gotta gather, cool. And we just gathered, and everyone was like, okay, stop, remember your position. So I look around to, you know, make sure that I've got everything, because I know when we were watching the second season, I look around and I basically know every single person there, just by the way, because always the same extras. So I look around and we're like, okay, so that person's there, that person's there, so this is how I have to arrange myself. And then, you know, I look over to my left, I'm like, Jesse and Archie are standing right next to me, and I didn't even see them. They were like, stay in that position, everybody has to stay in that position because this looks good. And then, you know, we had to always go back to that one, so that's why I ended up being right next to them. So we were shooting for a bit now, I think it's a second or third take suddenly, so they're just like, you know, just standing around. We're only recording our part. It's so Patty is giving the speech, but, you know, partial, like we know exactly what we want recorded from the extras or Jesse and Archie. And then suddenly take over, and they were like, okay, we're gonna shoot again. And then Jesse and Archie, you know, just, you know, look back around, and Jesse asked one of my friends, oh my god, because she had like just so much sweat because again it was extremely hot. And then she was like, oh my god, like, whoa, you guys are, they look around, oh my god, you guys are actually, you know, wearing everything, how are you not dying, are you okay? And then that person, by the way, they just asked this from, Jesse asked it. She doesn't really speak English, so she just said, I'm okay. And then I was like, you know, we used to by now. And then I see Jesse just like, stop, look back around, like, okay, hey, I know that voice. And then she like looks around, and then I'm gonna show it from my perspective. It's like, look, stops, looks back around, he was like, ah! And then screams, and that was just so loud, and I got scared. I was like, oh my god, what? And then she literally jumps onto me, hugging me, and that was just like shaken up. It was such a beautiful moment, and oh my god, it's a full memory. I really, really love it. I'm just shaking. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm shaking just thinking back at it, and just like, oh my god, how you been? How's, you know, just asking me so many questions, and I'm just too, I don't know, literally shooketh. I'm just like frozen, and I don't even know what to do. And so I responded like, I'm okay, how are you? Like I did not know what to do. And then, you know, we talked for a little bit, and so this whole conversation, everybody, every single person, every single extra, every single staff member, every single person was just like, what's happening? Because again, what they saw was Jesse just screaming and then jumping, and then that was it, and we didn't know what was happening. I really, really hope they were recording, because I would just love to see that moment again. And so after that we talked for a little bit. They were like, but you know, we gotta shoot. I was like, okay, sorry. And the rest of the day we spent talking, and it was amazing. I'm sorry, because I miss my friends, and this was such a big moment, and they did remember me. When we finished shooting that scene, we had to, like, you know, scatter because it was, you know, they were moving on, they were changing around the cameras. We still kept talking because we were like, okay, we reunited, everything was good. And then, like, 45, maybe almost an hour later than, you know, this original interaction happened, Archie just, like, comes to me kicking the ground, being like, you were in season 1, right? I was like, yes. Like, okay, so that's where I remember you from. I'm like, yeah. Like, and that is when he actually put it together that we actually know each other, because, like, he was probably the whole day was like, I know that person, Jesse knows that person, we what, familiar, what do I do with it? Anyways, Archie was amazing. And so after that, you know, he also kept coming back, and, you know, we kept talking with everybody. After that, I had this, I don't know, incredible surge of confidence. It was amazing. And so after that, Archie did not forget me. Jesse did not forget me after that. So I think that point really, you know, cemented it for them that, yeah, they know me, and it was such an amazing moment. So back in the first season, so this is how I got to know them. The first season, I talked about this in the last story. I went into a tent of somebody, it was Archie, who I wasn't supposed to go in. Did I leave that in the video? I know I recorded it. I know I talked about it. Anyways, I went into Archie's and I didn't know I was supposed to do that. I think I left it in because this story with the script, I knew who they were at some point. It was a reshoot. We were doing the boat scene. I'm a fancy lady wearing a red everything. And that day, we're just, you know, talking outside the set. People are smoking, and Archie just comes up like, hey, guys, you've got a lighter? And we're like, yeah. And then he just stayed and we talked. And, you know, that day, we scheduled, it was 2020 February, by the way, early February, I think 7th. Yeah, it was 7th. I remember everything, by the way. He just, you know, comes up, asks for a lighter, and then he stays, and we keep talking. And that was the day one of my friends mustered up the courage, and I asked him, hey, could we, like, you know, take a picture together? Like, what's up? And he was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, hey, can I join? And he was like, yeah, what's up? You know, join me, whatever. So we actually scheduled that picture taking. It was for the end of the day, and everything was good, except that the extras finished much, much earlier than the actors did. So we had to be taken away, we had to be taken home, and we couldn't do the picture. So next month, actually, no, not next month, it was February 22nd, 22nd, 23rd, 24th that I was shooting again, but as a soldier. And 22nd I went up, and no, at 22nd I didn't, but 23rd I asked, like, so, you know, if you remember, like, just like about a month ago, we spoke about, you know, a picture, and then Jessie was like, yeah, let's take it down. Come on, just take it. And I was like, that's illegal. And she goes like, yeah, whatever, just you take the picture. Anyways, it was amazing. But we didn't take the picture. We actually scheduled it again. And at the end of the day, Archie just, you know, comes running after me. It's like, sorry, I'm sorry. Problem. I have a horrible headache. Could we please reschedule that? Are you here tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here tomorrow. Okay, let's you know, do it tomorrow. I promise you we can do it tomorrow. And tomorrow we did. And I don't know if I talked about this in any of the videos, they put our names with the other friend of mine. They put our names and were like, we have to go to this person. You have to, like, go around to everybody. There was this whole thing scheduled that we had to be taken into, like, the trailers and stuff. Anyways, so after shooting, we rushed. We're like, we're not getting taken away. We're not doing, like, this. We're not missing this. And we did not miss it. We go and take the picture. Archie was amazing. They had to take his makeup off, you know, his costumes. We had to change out the costumes because obviously it's not allowed. So we took that picture. Actually, I think I'm allowed to post it, but that day Archie said, you're not allowed to post it. And I don't know if he meant, like, when it was taken, because I wasn't gonna post it then, but maybe now that afterwards, like, it came out, I think I'm allowed to. I don't know, but yeah, so we got that picture, and it's one of the best pictures it's ever happened. I love it. We were supposed to take the picture with Jessie too, but she had to go back to finish shooting one of the scenes. So we couldn't take the picture with her, and I wanted to take it this season. But, you know, third season is also an opportunity, right? Afterwards, you know, we talked all the time, like almost every single day. So 23rd, 24th, we talked a lot. Going back to this season, I was like, do they remember me? Do they remember me? And they did! And I was so happy. I actually became really good friends with Julian as well, and I was so sad that we couldn't see him this season. But at least I met him in another production because he was shooting here in another production, and we shot together, and we became buddies again, and he remembered me. And he remembered the tricks with the ribbon because I was teaching him how to do that. Anyways, it was fun. I brought him the ribbon in this other production. We're like, hey dude, do you remember? And he remembered, and he was amazing. And that's when we realized it was 3 years ago, the last time we actually met. Whoa. So yeah, that was that. So that's when I last video I did, there was this time when I was like, you know, friends going at it on the screen. That's, yes, like I am used to now seeing actors who I personally know, you know, just doing other stuff on screen. Like I'm used to it, but for some reason this hit me so hard when I was, you know, watching the second season, because whoa. I don't know, just, you know, we got reunited again. It was, I've known them for like 4 years, 4 years now. And just, I've never actually, so on set, first season, they had amazing chemistry. Also second season too, but it was a different kind of chemistry. It's still not bad, it's still pretty good, but you know, it was different. Probably because the whole, I don't know, the whole relationship and second season was completely different. Probably that's why. So yeah, I was not expecting that sort of scene. I know something like that was going to happen, but I was like, front on. But the time I was like, that was the only time it actually affected me. So the next time it happened in the series, it wasn't that much, but I was still like, okay, I'm just gonna leave you to your privacy. There was this other time when we were shooting Ben's Burning, and I gave a little paper, like a thank you paper. I wrote a little message and I gave it to Jessie, and she was looking really sad, but she was like, hey, yeah, what do you want, darling? And she was amazing still, but she looked, you know, really sad, and I didn't know why, and I just put it together not like a week ago why the whole interaction went the way it went. And she was like, yeah, and she put it away, and I think she lost note, but whatever. Because when she was coming back, she didn't have it, so something happened, and she still looked really sad and the whole day, and I didn't know what was happening. But then last week I watched the second season, and I realized that is the scene when Mal dies. So I know why she had to be sad and, you know, had to keep in character. I thought I did something wrong, and I felt really, really bad about it, because I thought I wasn't supposed to give the note. Something I said in the note that I didn't mean like that, maybe, you know, like I went over the board or something. It was just a general thank you note, but, you know, like I just got so, I don't know, I felt like I did something so wrong, and I put it together last week that no, it was just the scene she had to shoot. I actually hope that she did not lose the note, but maybe one day we'll meet again. Third season, am I right? Hydration is key. Oh yeah. Okay, so next story is the punch. Actually, they posted the punch. That's that. So yeah, I told you it was coming. It was quite loud on set, so I don't know how much. I don't know if this had audio, but if it did, then maybe you could hear it. Anyway, so the punch was a quite funny one, because, you know, I told you about this. This is when the ship falls, and then we marched to them. I was a medic. There's another story for that, because right as soon as that happened, everybody like looked up, because like, whoa, that's not supposed to happen, you know, actually. And so I saw right after he's hit. So while he's still, you know, going down, and then Jessie onto him. Yeah. So that punch was quite funny. There were some jokes afterwards, you know, being like, yeah, but you hit me, like, you know, with the hit. So that punch is real. So yeah. And I'm glad they posted it. Medic story. I don't know how much I talked about it in the last video, because I was supposed to talk about it. I talked about it, but I'm not sure if I left it in. The medic story was they searched for us. They were like, okay, where is me and the other person? Where are they? And like, we're here. What do you want? Like, come with me. We've got a special role for you too. And we're like, well, what you got? And then, you know, when we were walking, they told us that one of the main actors in the scene, they need a medic, and they know that they can work with us. I'm good at English, he's pretty good at English. They know we can get the job done, so it's a very important one. We're just gonna, you know, get you the props, get you the backpack, get you the everything that a medic needs. We're just gonna get it for you, and then we're gonna go shoot the scene. I'm like, oh my god. So that's gonna be us fixing the arm of the actor, and then that's gonna be the scene, and it's only gonna be the two of us. And I'm like, ah. So there's this funny interaction happening there, but it's, you know, just for us. So it was one of the staff members. But we get there, and they're like, okay, change of plans, going around. We did get the backpack and everything, but we were put into the very last bit of the line with the backpack on, so it was actually quite heavy. And then we're like, so okay, sometime the scene is coming, but they didn't tell us the actual change of plans until later on, which was, you know, okay, so we're gonna shoot the medic scene. Where are the medics? So we're like, we're here. And they're like, okay, so not the actor, one of the extras. I'm like, what? So they put us right into, like, I didn't even know if we were gonna be visible in that shot, because when we asked on set, we're like, okay, so are we at least just the tiniest bit visible, because we can't even see the camera. They were like, a little, maybe a little bit, you know, in the edge. And I'm like, all right, so yeah, nice change of plans. So we were quite broken afterwards, but it was all right, because we had a pleasant time anyways. You can see us in the background just fixing the person's arm. So that's actually an extra, by the way. Maybe a small part, because, you know, they are quite visible, but a general extra. A few videos have surfaced from the Shadowman Bones set, and also some behind the scenes. For example, when Archie and Jesse are running in the air, the stunts are like getting pulled. It's in it's in Comero. Archie said he almost fell while shooting that, and that's very, very big thing, by the way, that happened to almost every single person during the shots. We had to reshoot some scenes quite a few times because the extras kept either falling or slipping, because the ground there was awful. It was just like very small stones, and almost every single person was wearing heels who was a woman and a soldier, because for some reason we need heels in the army. By the way, I was doing the stunts in the heels too, but it's not like big heels, like just this much. It's really not like that much. It's really not that much. It's just, you know, sometimes it can get quite wobbly. And I think the last story for today is a quite nice one, which is when we burned Ben, the very last day. So that I was in the pictures in the last video. They took a picture in it because we were the only two extras who actually made it into the picture, because the others didn't know what was happening. We're like, hey, so there's a picture. What's happening? But they just, get in there. So we sat down and we're in the picture. That day was Ben's last day, and he was quite happy that day. And it was weird because usually you couldn't see Ben smile. And I spent a long time looking at Ben in real life, and he's a beautiful man with the darkest eyes you've ever seen, but he is quite grumpy usually. But that day he was just, I don't know, it was so weird seeing him smile so much. It was amazing. And he also laughed at us because we were doing something awkward. It was fun though, so it was nice having a little interaction between, you know, everybody, because that day everybody was just so, I don't know, free. Everyone was just, I don't know, laid back. I don't know how to say. That was the day I got my shirt. So they were handing it out. Everybody got a shirt who asked for it, except for the extras. I was the only extra to get one because I was the only extra to go. They were like, hey, so can I get a shirt? And they're like, yeah, sure, what's your size? I'm like, M&M. Okay, so and I got the shirt. But I was following that guy around almost the whole day because he didn't know. Or maybe he noticed. Probably he noticed. Because I really wanted to ask if we could get a shirt. If it's a no, it's a no. I'm going to take that. But I just want to ask. And so I did get the shirt, and I still have the shirt. I'm not wearing it today, but I do have the shirt. And later on, one of my friends, who's also in the picture, also got the shirt, but not through that person. So it was somebody gave it to her because, you know, as like a gift. That day was really fun, and that is when we first saw. So we are the only two extras standing, you know, the closest to them. So you could see us. I recorded it. It was, you know, zoomed in. I'm the one who's like looking around like that. I could not see anything. Also, when we're standing with the For Africa speech, the face I'm making is just me trying to keep my eyes open because it was so bright the entire day. That was my 150% effort of just trying to keep my eyes open. But anyways, whenever I showed that picture to anyone, really, they said, I thought that was a dude. I thought that was a guy. That's you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So hopefully other people think that's a dude too. So yeah. When we saw that, I was like, wait, that person's familiar. Who are we burning? And we look a little bit close, and I'm like, that's Ben. Wait, Kieran actually dies. We burn him. Yes, we do. The other time when I saw Archie get stabbed, I was like, I think I missed a very crucial part of the whole thing. What happened? I watched the whole thing happen. So I wasn't supposed to watch it because I'm not in the scene, but I was just standing right, like they couldn't see me, the camera couldn't see me. I was just standing offset and just like, you know, peeking in what's happening. And I was like, what? And then like he walks out. I was like, what, dude, you die? And he was like, huh? I really liked it because, again, after the Fort Ravka scene, Archie remembered me, and whenever, you know, we passed by, he always said hi. We always talked for a few minutes, and everything was just, you know, so good. And almost the last day, we took a picture with Callahan. He was amazing. So what? There are 2 other people in the picture because, you know, we took a group picture, and one of them has been trying to talk with him for so long because she was a stand-in. But she couldn't, because she couldn't muster up the courage. But when I was there, I was like, you know what, let's do it. So for some reason, whenever we're on set, I'm the one who's like, let's do it. So I'm the one giving people confidence, which probably isn't really the best thing. But we went up to him and we're like, hey, can we take a picture? And he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then there was another girl who was just there, and they were like, okay, let's take the picture. And we took the picture. I think I'm allowed to post. I'm not really sure, but this is the picture. If I'm not allowed to, I'm going to take it down. So this is Archie's picture too, from the first season. I'm short. But yeah, so this season was really, really fun. I didn't have that many scenes. If you like, you know, just look at it from your perspective, a viewer's perspective, you could only see me in one scene, and then you could see my back. Two of my back. No. And 2 other scenes, you can see my back. Overall, I wasn't really in it that much, but this season, I shot from the very first day to the very last, and I worked months on this production because I mostly worked behind the scenes. I was either a double or a stand-in, or just, you know, a soldier who's hiding her face. So technically I spent much more time working on season 2 than I did the season 1, but you could see much more in season 1 because for some reason I always ended up in front of the camera. But thank you so much for watching, and this is my vlog from the first season when I was an entertainer, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and please come back. Hello! So it's the, I don't know, 3rd of December. I got the call back yesterday. And I went to audition on Friday for the role of just somebody who's playing around in the market. Anyways, today I got a call, but hey, we need you another day. So I'm going down there on the 10th, and I'm coming back on the 14th. So I have less time to mentally prepare myself and also physically prepare myself because I still don't know what I'm going to do. I auditioned for 3 roles. 1, juggler. 2, acrobat, leg, and 3, somebody who can play the recorder. I have not got a response back, like which they want, but I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna bring all my knowledge, all my flexibility, and all my musical knowledge on everything. So we'll see how it goes. I spent a lot of today trying to gain back my juggling skills, since it's been a really while since I played anything with the balls. I only learned it a few months ago, and then I was like, ooh, I can do this. I'm amazing. And I was like, whoa, but I can juggle, I can do this. And then they were like, okay, let's do it. I was like, where do I find balls? For the entire weekend, we were trying to find balls around the house for me to juggle. And today we finally found some. None of them are the same size. We have this Barbie ball, we have a tennis ball, and we have like a Nurofen ball. That is like just as old as I am. Yeah, we did that. And today I've been trying to, you know, be as cool as I can. And I've been trying to get back my flexibility, which is gonna be bad right now. Ooh, I haven't stretched at all. Can I do this better? Ew. No. I could if I stretched, which I'm gonna do right now. See you at my next panic attack. Also, just a little thing that I wanted to share, that I've already been on Shadow and Bone one time on November 12th. And I was playing a soldier, a First Army soldier. I just gotta tell you, it was like the experience of my life. It was amazing. It also rained a lot, so it was kind of cold, but it was okay because we got like feet and
hand warmers. But yeah, it was just amazing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything, you know, until it comes out. And this actually might be coming out when that comes out, which might be in 3 years. So hello future everyone. I just gotta tell a little secret that the person, I'm not sure if I have the character's name right, is Mal. I don't know. There were Mal's soldiers there also in the distance. Archie plays him, and I remember spending the entire day right next to him. And for the longest time I didn't know that, you know, I was standing next to like a main character, but still. I heard that they were actually speaking and he had to go into the tent and stuff like that, so I knew that he was some kind of like important character, but still, you know, like the realization didn't hit me until like today. For me, it's a huge opportunity to go back to that world because it was amazing. Seeing that built, like, if it actually felt like you were in a book, and it was just an undescribable, undescribable, is that a word? It was an undescribable experience. So, tehát most én ilyen tök creepy helyen mászkálok, és Rotenburg próbál, most fejeztem be, most megyek ki. És csak én szeretnék mondani, hogy én most olyan mencérek leszek, hogy amikor megérkezek, hogy akkor ott vagyok, öltözünk, akkor csak be mondani a nevemet, nincs számom, nevem van, és onnan fogják tudni, hogy én vagyok. Kiszólhat, meséljek el valamit. Vannak ezek a drágalapdák, és vannak ezek a drágalapdák. Nos, vannak ezek, elég nem ezekkel gyakoroltam, de ilyesmikkel. Akkor ezekkel dobálom, úgy érzem, hogy totál harmónia van, minden jó. Totál érzem a laktát, minden folyik, és minden jó. De jönnek ezek, a szó szerinti zsonglőlabdák. Elkezdtem ezeket dobálni, és így káosz az egész. Pörögnek, így repülnek, úgy repülnek, rosszul lehet őket elkapni, nem lehet velük, és nem látod őket, mert olyan sötétek. Hallsz, és nem lehetek normálisan dobálkozni, szó szerint kényelmetlen. Miért eljön az ember, azt mondja, ők idő, ebből meghalnak. Azonhoz képest ezek. Egyszerűen varázslatos mennyország. És így nem tudom elmagyarázni. Fú, kemény napom lesz volna. Haját szállítok én is. Jó, szép videókával. Jó, már. Only after the first day, and it wasn't even a first day, we just arrived, and I already feel like the coolest potato that's ever been on this earth. I feel really cool. Okay, anyways, yeah, so we're in this little house. It's amazing. Everything is beautiful, and also in the room, we've got a whole room and also a whole house to ourselves. There's only 2 people in here. And downstairs, there is also a bedroom that has a TV. It's amazing. I feel so cool. Yeah.
Nappalból is tudnak egyébként éjszakát csinálni. Ez nagyon